So hello and welcome to this Adobe Animate tutorial. Today we are going to create this HTML5 animated banner with this camera tool, and right now you can see what we are going to be doing. One thing that I want to say is that I also created very similar tutorial but without this animation, without this bouncing, and in this tutorial I showed you two ways. I showed you how you can achieve this with the camera tool and how you can achieve this with the scale. In this tutorial with this bouncing, we are just going to do this with the camera tool, and yeah. Also, one thing that I want to say is that in this tutorial I am not going to show you how you can prepare banner like this for the Google Ads because there are additional steps, but I am going to provide a link in the description for the tutorial where I am showing that. So yeah, this is what we are going to be doing, and right now we can start. Alright, so right now I am on the site Freepik, and I am going to put the link in the description, and I am also going to provide you the Illustrator file that we are going to create right now. So if you want to skip this part, you can go directly to the Adobe Animate. But yeah, all you need to do is click download, then go with the free download and save this. I will hit cancel because I already saved this, and yeah. And one thing that I want to mention is that if you want to use this commercially, you will have to attribute the author or go premium on the Freepik, but it's very cheap. And the same thing is with the Illustrator file that I'm going to provide you, because I don't own this. I am going to just provide you this to make this little bit more simple. But yeah, I will go to the place where I have my zip file, and I am going to right click and I am going to choose extract here, and I am going to double click on this IE or on the IPS file, and it is going to open me this in Adobe Illustrator. I will have some kind of warning about missing fonts, but I am just going to hit close, and yeah. Now I'm going to create new document, so Control N, Command N, or you can go File New, and I am going to choose for the web 600 by 400, and I want this as a default, so pixels RGB 72, and I am just going to click Create. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to select everything like so, and while everything is selected, I am going to drag it to the new document that we have created like so. I am going to zoom out with the Alt or Option and the mouse wheel, and I am going to put it approximately to the center. You cannot like align this right now because we have this part separated, and I am just going to go with the Shift and Alt, and I am going to scale this down. Shift to stay proportional and Alt to go from the center, so maybe something like this. And right now I can move this with my arrows like so. Now what I'm going to do is I will go to my layers, and I am going to have everything in the layer 1. But what I'm going to do, so we can see the layers a little bit better, I am going to click on the layer 1. I will go to these 3 lines, and I am going to go to the bottom to the panel options, and I am going to go with the other, and I am going to choose maybe 50, and I am going to click OK. So right now my layers are going to be at least a little bit bigger. You could go maybe with something more, but yeah. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to hide the first layer, which are like these houses, and everything else I am going to select, and I am going to group. If you do not want, for example, the text, and you would like to have some kind of different text, we can get rid of the text and you can create your own text or anything. You can do this in Adobe Animate, but I am just going to select everything like so, and I am going to go with Ctrl G, Command G, or you can right click and choose group. So right now we are just going to have 2 layers. One of them is going to be this background, and one of them is going to be these houses. If I open this layer like so, we are going to have this brush like so. I can show it one more time. So all of these brushes, and we are going to have the houses. What I'm going to do is I am going to drag this brush away. So I am just going to drag this, and I am going to put it like so. Later on we are going to reposition this. So yeah, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on these houses, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to choose ungroup, and I will have to one more time, because they are still connected, ungroup this. So I will right click and I'm going to choose ungroup, and right now we are going to have them separated like so. So right now we are going to have I don't know how many layers, but we are going to have layer for all of the houses. We are going to have the background, and we are going to have the brush. Okay, so now I can show everything. I can click on the layer 1, I can go to these 3 lines, and I can go with release to layers. And right now I am going to be able to, let me go back. Okay, I will show them before of that, like so. So like this, and right now I will go to these 3 lines, and I'm going to choose release to layers, and right now I'm going to be able to select them and drag them outside of the layer 1. Right now layer 1 is going to be empty, so I can delete this like so, and this brush at the beginning I am going to put to the top, so it is going to be visible like so. So yeah, right now we are going to have 7 layers, the background, the 5 houses, and this brush. If you want, you can get rid of this, you can delete this, but I am going to keep this. So yeah, so right now I am just going to save this. I will go with Control S, Command S, and I will go to the place where I want to have this, and I am just going to create a folder which I am going to call to be Illustrator, and I am going to provide you this, but still keep in mind that I don't own this. So yeah, and I can call this to be Christmas, or I can call this anything, and I'm just going to click save. In here I do not want to change anything, so I am just going to click OK, and yeah. Now I will go to the Adobe Animate, and I'm going to create new file, and I will go with the same width and height. So I am going to choose 600 by 400. I want the frame rate as it is, it's fine, and I want this to be HTML5 canvas, and I am just going to click create. Now I will go to the place where I have my Illustrator file, and I am just going to drag it to the Adobe Animate like so. It is going to give me some kind of options, but in here I do not need to, I do not want to change anything. I want this as it is, so I am just going to click import, and yeah. Now we are going to have some kind of warning about the blending modes, because some blending modes are not supported in Adobe Animate. Sometimes this can ruin the vector, sometimes it's fine. In this case it's fine, so yeah. Now I am going to very quickly rename these layers. So I'm going to double click on this one, and this is going to be BG. The up one is going to be Bash, and yeah. And one thing is that I will have to reposition the layers. So layer 4 I am going to put at the bottom. So layer 4 is this one, the next one is this one. I will just make sure that I have the correct order, and I have, and I am just going to call them to be H1, like house 1. This is going to be H2. You do not need to name your layers, but it's fine to have at least some kind of names. This is going to be H4, and the last one is going to be H5, like so. Now we will have to, I can zoom out, zoom in with the Control and mouse wheel, and I am going to convert the houses because we are going to animate them to the symbols. So I will select the first one, and I will go to the modify, convert to symbol, or F8, and I can call this to be symbol 1, or I can call this to be H1. I want this to be movie clip. The registration point doesn't matter, that's for the JavaScript. So I am just going to click OK, and right now I will go with address, so F8, this is going to be H2, and so on. I recommend you to save this file, because when we are going to have vectors like so, there is a possibility that your animate is going to be slow. So this is going to be number 4, and it can crash your animate. And the last one, F8, is going to be H5, and I am going to click OK. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the timeline for all of the layers. So I will go maybe to 260, and I'm going to click F5, or you can right click insert frame. This is just going to extend the timeline. And yeah, and now I am going to animate the houses, so I will go maybe to frame 25 for all of them. I do not want to have the brush and I do not want to have the BG, and I am going to click F6, or you can right click, insert the keyframe like so, and I will go to the initial keyframes. I am going to select all of them, and I am going to go with Q, or you can go in here, free transform tool, and I can zoom in a little bit, and with the Alt or Option, I am going to drag this down like so, like this. I can zoom in a little bit more like so, and I am going to put this like so. You do not want to go to the other side because then it is going to be weird, so I would like to put this maybe like so, and yeah, I can zoom out. And I'm going to select it like so, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to choose create classic twin, and we are just going to have the animation like so. I would like to create some kind of bounce effect. You do not need to, but I would like to, so I will go maybe somewhere here, couple frames more like so, and I'm going to create new keyframes, F6, and I will go to this one keyframes, and I will go with Alt or Option, and I'm going to make this little bit bigger like so. Okay, this is fine. And now one more time I'm going to create new keyframes, so I'm going to go like this, and I will go with F6, and I will go to these keyframes, and I am going to make them a little bit smaller like so. And I'm going to select it like so, and I'm going to create classic twin. So basically we are going to start from the small like so, we are going to go like this is going to be a little bit bigger, then we are going to go to be a little bit smaller, and then we will go to the original size like so. Okay, and now I can go with Control Enter, Command Enter to see this in the browser. This can take few moments because we have these vectors which are pretty complex, and this is what we are going to have. I would like to create some kind of easings. So I am going to select all of the initial keyframes, and I will go to the classic ease, and I will go with easy in out. This will just make the animation at the beginning slower, then faster, and then slower. And I am going to double click with this first, I am going to double click on this first option, and yeah, and I am going to create the same thing for this keyframe. So I am going to select them, classic ease, easy in out, and I am going to double click on the first option. You can go with other easings, they are stronger. Classic is easy in out, but for this animation I don't like this, so I prefer to go with this one, and I am going to double click like so. The last one we do not need to, because these keyframes are like easings for this animation, these ones are for this animation, these ones are for this animation, and in here we do not have animation anymore. So we are just going to have something like this. And now I am going to just distribute them, so I am going to select all of the keyframes instead except of the first one, and I am going to move them like so. Make sure that you are going to stay on the same line. If not, just go with Ctrl Z, Command Z, but yeah, and I am going to distribute it like so, and I will distribute it like so. Okay, two more. So yeah, I will select this and I will put it like this, and right now I am going to go with the last one, so I am going to select this and I am going to put this in here like so. Okay, so this is what we are going to have. Now I would like to get a camera tool. I have my camera right now in here. You probably are not going to have, but you can click this edit toolbar, and in here you are going to have some tools, and in here you are going to have probably your camera, and you can just drag your camera in here like so. For example, I can show you with this one. I can just drag this and put it in here, and it is going to be like so. And right now I can click on the camera and it is going to appear, or you can just go with the shortcut which is C, and it is going to create the camera, and yeah. Now I can position myself somewhere here like so, and I am going to zoom in with the camera, so I am just going to zoom in like so. If you cannot see things outside of the stage, there is this option, clip content outside of the stage, and yeah, but yeah, I will zoom in little bit more like so, and now I am just going to move to the left like so. So I am just going to go to the left, and it goes to the left. Sometimes this camera behaves a little bit strange, because sometimes you go to the left left and it goes to the right. Sometimes you go to the left and it goes to the left. but yeah, and I can click this clip content outside of the stage to see how this is going to be looking. I can zoom in little bit more, or a little bit more. I don't know. I can put this little bit down, and I can go like this. So yeah, you can play with this, but I am going to go maybe something like this. And now I am going to move to frame maybe up in here 225, and I'm going to create new keyframe F6, and I am just going to move to the right like so little by little until I am going to get to the end like so. So yeah, like this, and we can go up till this point. And right now I can go anywhere in between on the camera. I can right click and I can choose create classic twin, and basically this is what we are going to have. So I can go with Control Enter, Command Enter to see this in the browser, and I am basically going to have this kind of animation like so, and yeah. You can of course make the distribution to be not like so, but you can have them more close to each other. So you could have the distribution to be like so. For example, you can have the animation to be slower, you can have the animation to be faster, but I am going to keep this as it is, and yeah. And now I can go to maybe frame 255, and I'm going to, on the camera layer, create new keyframe F6, and now what I'm going to do is I am just going to zoom out, so like so, and yeah. And let me zoom out like this, maybe a little bit more, like so. And now I am going to move my camera. And right now this is the strange, I go to the left and it goes to the right. so yeah, so I will go like this, and right now I will have to zoom in a little bit because I want to cover everything. I can go a little bit like so. Okay, this is fine for me. And I'm going to go anywhere in between, and I'm going to right click, create classic twin, and I will go to this keyframe, and I'm just going to make easing. So I will go with this first option like so. So when we are going to have the movement of the camera in here, I do not want to have the easing. I want this animation to be linear. I want the animation to be same speed the same time. But when we are going to zoom out like so, I would like this to be with the easing. So this is what we are going to have. I will go with Control Enter, Command Enter to see this in the browser, and this is what we are going to have. So we are going to have the animation of the houses, and then at the end we are going to zoom out with the camera like so. Okay, so right now I can see that I would prefer to make this animation a little bit faster, but right now you know how you can do this. You can make the animation of the houses like to be a little bit faster. You can move the keyframes or anything, but I am going to keep this right now as it is, and you can play with this as you want. Now the last thing that I want to show you, because maybe some of you do not know, when we are going to hit this point at the end, so we are going to have this animation, then it is going to for maybe like 5-6 frames stay, and then it is going to loop again. If we would like this to stay a little bit longer, we can extend this. So I can go select everything, and I can go with F5, and this is going to extend the timeline. If you would like to get rid of this, you can select this, and you can go with right click and remove frames, or shift F5. So yeah. As I told you at the beginning, at least I hope I told you, in this tutorial I am not going to show you how you can prepare this kind of banner for the Google Ads, but I am going to put a link in the description for the tutorial where I am showing that. And yeah, the last thing that I am going to show you in this tutorial is at least how you can export this, but for the more information, as I told you, I am going to put a link in the description for the tutorial about the Google Ads. Now, one thing, if anyone have been here until this point, you can write me that in the comments. That would mean a lot to me. But yeah, now what I'm going to do is I am going to save this. Maybe you already saved this, but yeah, and I will go to the place where I want to have this. So I am just going to create a folder which I am going to call to be animate, and I will go inside, and I am just going to call this to be camera movement, Christmas, anything, and I am just going to click save. And when I go to that place, where I have this animate file. I am going to have the animate file, and I am going to have some recover animate file, but that's the same. But once you save this and you go with Control Enter or Command Enter to test this in the browser, it is automatically going to publish you in the place where you have your animate file some JavaScript, some HTML, and some images. I am going to get rid of this like so, and maybe you are not going to have these images. This depends on the publish settings. I will show you at least something, but yeah. And now what I can do is I can go in here to the file, I can go to the publish settings. And if you are going to have the images or not, it depends if you are going to be on the texture, on the sprite sheet, or on the image assets. I am going to keep this as a texture, but yeah, for the more information, Google Ads tutorial. But yeah, and now what I can do is I can go in here to this select publish destination, and I am going to choose the place where I want to have this. You can choose any folder on your PC, but I am going to go to the place where I have my animate file, and in here I am going to create a new folder which I'm going to call index. I will go inside. You can call this anything, but I prefer to call this index, and you can call this to be index.js, camera.js. For the clients, we usually called this index.js, and I can go with save, I can go with OK, I can go with file, and I can go with publish. And right now, if I go to the place where I have my index folder, I am going to have some images, I am going to have some JavaScript, and I am going to have some HTML. And if I'm going to double click on this HTML, it is going to open me this in the browser like so. So yeah, basically this is it. This is all. I hope that you have learned something. I hope that you didn't have some issues with the animate crashing, because when you have like these complex vectors, it can happen. But yeah, there is also an option to don't use vectors but use PNGs, but that's not for this tutorial. But yeah, this is it. This is all. Thank you very much. Have a nice day and goodbye.